Alhamdulillah, wassalatu wassalamu ala rasulillah, amma ba'd, assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Brothers and sisters, welcome back to Get to Know. I'm your brother Imran ibn Mansour, and here we have our brother Guled Noor. So inshallah, before we begin, I have some announcements to make. First and foremost, remember that you can access the Get to Know now from the podcast app. Whether you're on Android, whether you are on the iPhone, just go to the section below, and inshallah ta'ala you can follow the instructions on how you can access it. The second thing I want to announce is that we're actually going on Umrah. The Knowledge College has teamed up with Sunnah Trips, and we're going to be taking 20 young brothers or sisters. Sisters, of course, have to be accompanied by their mahram, to Mecca and Medina. And we're going to do Umrah together, and it's going to be an absolutely epic and amazing experience. There's only 20 spaces. A good portion of them are already gone. Okay, so there's only a handful that's left. So if you guys want to come, go right now to the link below, watch the video in which I talk about the trip and how much it's going to be and all that information, and then inshallah ta'ala follow the instructions, get in touch with the travel agency and secure your seat on the plane with us right now, because trust me, this is going to be an epic Umrah trip, inshallah. You're going to be there, right?
Inshallah.
Inshallah, he's going to be there too, inshallah, the whole team. The other announcement that I have to make is that we've recently started a little kind of, online email kind of program for you guys, where we go through 5 obstacles that a student of knowledge might face studying in the West. That you want to seek knowledge, pursue knowledge in the West, okay? You live here. Of course, you want to try and travel the world, you want to go meet the scholars, but whilst you're here, how do you seek knowledge? It doesn't mean that you can't seek knowledge in the UK unless you travel. No, you can seek it here. But it's 5 obstacles that a person generally faces. But there's many more than 5, but we came together and we put down 5 of the most common ones, and we show you how to overcome each one in a practical way, inshallah. So to be able to access that, all you have to do is, again, go to the link below where it says 5 obstacles, how to overcome the 5 obstacles. Click the link, leave your email address, and we'll send you the first email with how to overcome the first obstacle. And over the next few days, we'll show you how to overcome the others. That was the longest introduction ever.
No problem.
Still carrying on with the introduction. Now we've got Brother Guled.
Yeah.
So this is a special, exclusive Get to Know episode, because usually you would have Sa'ad here, right? But Sa'ad's not here today.
Yeah.
And he graciously, he relinquished his seat to you today because Brother Guled is going to talk to us about how to seek knowledge in Egypt.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Now you've been back and forth from Egypt for about 2 years almost, right?
Yeah.
Allah barik. So I really wanted to bring you on the show, Akhi man, because there's a lot of brothers and a lot of sisters who are going to Egypt to study the Arabic language, to study Quran, to try and seek knowledge over there, right? And that's fantastic.
Yeah.
But a lot of them have kind of, been also wasting their time because you're going to a new country and you don't have a plan and you don't know what to do.
Yeah.
So, this is something that obviously you observed and you kind of encountered a lot of these problems yourself as well.
Yeah.
So I was thinking in this show, when I set the timer, we start off by you sharing with us some of your experiences for the brothers and sisters who want to go to Egypt, so they can basically have this as like a seeking knowledge in Egypt kind of guide. That makes sense. Okay?
Definitely.
So let's start off without me like kind of throwing a question at you.
No,
What do you think is important that a person needs to consider if he or she wants to go and study in Egypt? I mean, a lot of it would apply to any country, but specifically Egypt, because that's where you've been, right?
Yeah. So alhamdulillahi rabbil alameen wa salatu wa salam ala rasulillah amma ba'd. The first thing I'd like to start off with is Jazakallah khair for having me and Get to Know. I've been keeping up with it here and there. So it's a pleasure to be on.
To be honest, like I said, you're one of the instructors of Knowledge College, so you should have one of these. It's just that he's been in Egypt, so we couldn't measure him up to get one made.
No, it's been a while. So onto your first point. For anyone that wants to study generally in Egypt or any other country, I think the first thing a person needs to ask themselves is, what's the reason? And generally, everyone starts off with a good intention. Generally the answer is going to be, I want to learn, I want to understand the Quran, I want to be able to read books maybe, I want to be able to understand what the scholars are saying or communicate with the scholars. And these are all great things. At the same time, there should be other things that the person should, keep in his mind, that he wants to uplift ignorance of himself and he wants to benefit not only himself, others around him, like his family. And then not only that, the community, and then from that do da'wah to it as well. So all of these things are to be considered. Now the main thing is now practically moving forward is now I want to go to a country. Before you go, the first thing a person should look at is the surrounding, generally, their areas and what's available in their country. Have they been going to these classes? Are there someone who's been attending classes generally? Attending durus that's been happening, whether it's Arabic language, whether it's about tafsir, whether it's about aqeedah, any class, that person, has he himself been one who's gone out of his way, whether he lives in East London, has he been coming to West London to come to the classes, or if he lives in West, has he been going to East, has he been attending it weekly? Like, what type of person was he in this country? So if that person generally was someone who was attending and he was going to these classes, then when the opportunity like this arises, then he will be someone that will reap the benefits quickly, because first of all, he built a foundation, and these concepts which he will come into later on, that he's going to interact when he meets or when he sees over there in Egypt or any other places, is not new. So he won't be buckling and he won't be struggling with basic stuff. So the person builds his foundation.
So is it that you're trying to say, if you can't even come to classes in your own city, how are you going to study in a different country?
100%.
When you're going to be struggling, counting pennies, budgeting, the weather is going to be mad.
Yeah.
Not mad in like a bad way, because you don't insult the weather. But what I say, I mean, the weather's going to be intense.
Yeah.
But it's going to be different. It's going to be challenging. You know, people are going to get on your nerves. Yeah. And you still have to find a way to get to...
So if that person's going through the struggles of, if he's going classes here, he's going through the struggle of waking up in the morning. He's going through that struggle of, you know, putting his money towards it, getting the books, making that journey, going back, you know, all of these struggles that come with it, dealing with his family, dealing with the environment, and then he's got maybe studying education on the side, stuff like that. If he's dealing with this already and he's trying to study, then when his time becomes free, he'll be able to, you know, delve into it more, and he'll, you know, be able to take more from it and benefit more.
Yeah, that's deep, because like I've actually observed, you know, some brothers that, you know, mashallah, very good brothers, Allah barik, that really want khair, that have gone, for example, to Egypt, and they weren't really studying here, and they kind of took, and they were just chilling, they were just jamming, and they took that chilling, jamming vibe to Egypt. So when I look at their stories on social media and even their WhatsApp stories, and like, I'm like, I don't see no snaps or no posts of them, you know, like posting, like studying or anything. It's just always, oh, let's go to Alexandria, let's go here, let's go visit Masjid Kabir, or you know, I'm like, are you there on like a tourist kind of program, or you did study? And the reality of the matter is that you're gonna be a tourist there if you're not already in that studying mind. And the Salaf used to be like this. I'm not sure I can't remember, it was Abu Zur'at al-Razi or Abu Hatim al-Razi, one of the two. May Allah have mercy on them both. He said that we stayed in our city of Ray for 7 years, and we literally took the knowledge from everyone before we went out. Yeah. Do you see what I'm saying? So is that what you're kind of trying to say?
Yeah, generally, like the person's putting effort in this country. Not only that is, like you mentioned, and generally, the person thinks, you know, because of the change of land, he'll be a different person, innit? Yeah. I promise you, whatever habits or whoever you are now, you'll be that same person, just in a different land. But
wouldn't it become a little bit easier in the sense where...
It would.
In the sense where there's less distractions. Like, because if I imagine me now, you know, I've got lots of family distractions and whatnot. Or is it just that there are still distractions, but they're just different?
No, there's different. And not only that, if you're someone who's over there, generally, you won't get a habit over there. But you can build it, no doubt. It will take a while, but it's better to have it from here. I'm not saying you won't be able to. But generally, when the person comes over there or to any land, is that generally the person thinks, oh, you know, I'm going to go learn Arabic, all that. Sometimes people come disappointed. I remember there was a revert brother that came from Germany. He came for 1 month. He didn't intend for 1 month. He came to study a long time. But wallahi, every small thing just became a mountain. And then he was like, I'm going back home, innit? Like, I remember we tried to talk to him, advise him, and tell him, you know what, stay. What can we do to make it easy for you? Blah blah. He was like, you know what, and he said it quite simply. He's like, you know what, back home, I'll be able to drink my Coca-Cola and I'll just sit at the computer in it. That's what he said to us, and he was like, look, I'll be honest, I I'll win that Coca-Cola, and I'll have the computer. I'll still be able to do what I want to do. And this is one of the tricks that Shaitan comes to a person. He's like, look, wallahi, the same opportunity that I could get over there, when the person's there, now he's like, you know what, I could get it in the UK, you know.
So what was the point of you leaving?
Yeah, he'll be like, you know what, is it worth it? You know what, I can do it in the UK, you know.
So what, are you trying to say that they they thought that seeking knowledge was going to be relaxing.
Yeah, being over there will be something, I don't know what it is, which will make them love knowledge
And do it.
and go in and put up with, because it has its own trials. Number one, you're in a different country. Number two is culture. Some people, that brother was a culture shock. Others, it might not be. Number three, dealing with the general mass, innit? That's different places you go. That's one place, but other places, dealing with the people has its other struggles. You know, people trying to rip you off, and people dealing with you in this manner and this, and then not only that, finding a place to stay. If you're going alone, finding the right people to stay with. Not only that, when you find the right place, finding a good place. When you find that, issues that come with it. So all of these things, yeah, bruv, I just want to learn. Like, I just want to sit down. And then not only that, finding the institute, finding the teacher. That's why one of the things before...
And then there's the actual work, which is not going to be easy, right?
Putting in that work as well. And it's like...
Which is the most important thing.
Yeah, like, I tell brothers, I remember there was one brother who said to me, nah, when I go there, because he asked me, what's the time schedules for one of the places? I was like, oh, you got one at 8 in the morning, and then that's one class, and then you got another one at 12, and you got another one at 2. So I said, what do you want to... He's like, there's none at Fajr. He said, I want to go in, I want to go that Fajr time, innit? I said, bro, take it easy, innit? Take the 12 o'clock one, innit? I'm telling you, first 2 days, 3 days, you're waking up. 4 days, I've seen brothers like, bro, I'm not going today, innit? Anyway, I've seen it. So you know yourself, innit? If you're not a morning person, just pick the later time, innit? Like, and slowly, like, build yourself up.
I know your strengths, basically.
Yeah, like, don't jump in. And then what happens is, okay, we've missed 1, 2, 3, and then now you're missing classes. So what were you doing there, innit? Like, these kind of things. Is that the person rush? It's easy to think of it now, but that's one thing, innit? So the person needs to be doing something here. Once he's doing something here, he knows, okay, what's to expect. He sees the life of the Salaf and how they struggled and seeking knowledge. And, you know, Imam Shafi, you know, one person said to him, I want to seek hadith. He said, Marhaban, Abshir, glad tidings, poverty that will never leave you, and so and so forth. You know, these kind of things. When you're reading, okay, so there's going to be poverty, there's going to be hunger. You know, how the Prophet ﷺ himself starved so much that he had to tie, you know, a stone just to get rid of that hunger around his...
2 stones, right?
2 stones, just to get rid of that hunger. Abu Hurairah was, you know, he went through days that he was hungry.
He's collapsing, fainting, unconscious.
Ibn Abbas mentions that, you know, I was humiliated as a student and then I became honoured as a teacher. You will go through humiliation, you will. A teacher might talk to you in this way, in this manner. You may not like it, but at the end of the day, he's got something that you need, innit? And he doesn't need you. So you just kind of have to put up with it. Yeah. Some brothers, I remember, just because the person, I'm going into so much, but these kind of concepts, it's like, the person needs to realise there's etiquettes and, you know, many things have written on it. The brothers have gone through it extensively. Ustad has gone through it extensively in terms of the manners of the student and how to deal not only with himself, how to deal with the teacher and so forth. One of the things is that a person, just because he's paying a teacher, he thinks he has the right to, how can I say?
Dictate.
Yeah. Like, I understand you are paying him. Right. But at the same time, he's your teacher. You have to understand that. So the person's like...
And the teacher is on the level of a dad. Some of the Salaf will say.
Exactly.
The alim, the scholar. He's at the level of your father. And you need to respect him like you respect a dad.
So one of the things is some people... So a teacher may say, if you want to do this with me, you're going to have to memorize X, Y, and Z. Or you have to memorize what we did before. Or blah, blah. Some brothers are... And then if you don't memorize it, the teacher might say, you know what, I don't want to teach you. Regardless if you're paying me or not, I don't want to teach you. Some brothers be like, bruv, I'm paying you, like, why do I need to memorize? Just take the money, do the classes. Like, bro, end of the day, I've heard that. So it's one of those ones, what kind of, you know, these kind of things. So, first of all, how are you in this country?
But that's the thing, innit? You won't learn that.
Yeah.
Unless you spend time studying here.
Here, that's what, so the importance I'm giving is what you're doing here, innit? That's, all of that was a summary of what you're doing here.
Let me come to another question, yeah? So, now, when you go to Egypt, generally speaking, you know, even, you know, the main subjects that people are studying there is Quran and Arabic, right?
Yeah.
And those are the 2 foundations for seeking knowledge.
Yeah.
Do you see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I think it was Shaykh Abdul Karim al-Khudair. He said that a person who doesn't know the Arabic language and has not even memorized the Quran hasn't even started seeking knowledge. So these are the foundations that you need before you can even start seeking knowledge, because the Quran is ultimately the foundation from which all the knowledge spreads.
Yeah.
And all of it is in the Arabic language. You
Yeah.
see what I'm saying? So really, that's where people are going. Like even some people, they want to apply for Medina. The
Yeah.
advice that Abdurrahman always gives is go to Egypt first. The students who go to Egypt first, they always come out stronger.
Before you jump into it,
Yeah.
yeah, one of the best things I heard from Ustad Tim Humble, which was like amazing and stuck with me for so long. He said that seeking knowledge is the goal, yeah? That's the goal.
Yeah.
Because he used to graduate from Medina, so a lot of people used to ask him this. And Medina is the means. What people do is make Medina the goal and not knowledge. So when they don't get Medina, they don't go for the knowledge.
SubhanAllah.
So they don't end up seeking that. And wallahi, that was amazing.
So if that means don't work, there's another means open.
Exactly. So if you know knowledge is the goal and Medina is just the means, and if you don't get it, there's other means, then the person will still aim for that. But what people have done is made Medina the goal and not knowledge. So if they don't get there, then they never seek knowledge.
Like for example, within Saudi, there's so many unis.
Yeah.
Jamiat Malik Saud, Jamiat Al-Imam.
Abdulaziz. I think it's called on.
I don't know all of their names, but Al-Quran in Mecca. There's in Jeddah, for example.
Yeah.
Like Ustad Yasin, mashallah, he goes there, he studies Arabic there, he's doing an Arabic degree, and then he goes to Mecca every week and he studies with the ulama in the Haram.
Yeah.
So I'm saying the options are open. You can go back home to Pakistan, if from Somalia, you can go back home to Somalia.
Yeah.
Like there's knowledge wherever. Do you understand?
That was the best thing I ever heard. It put everything into perspective. It was like, okay, like, because generally it's true that you see people, they don't get,
because not everyone's gonna get into Medina. Everyone's gonna get into
Medina or any other. Just say generally you don't even get to go Egypt or you don't even get to leave the country. There's still opportunities here.
Yeah.
So I'll cut you off from your question, but I just want to mention that.
No, barakallah fi, man. So what you're trying to say is that if you're trying to go for Medina and don't wait around for Medina.
Yeah.
In the meantime, go Egypt. Like if you're really serious about Medina, right? Just go Egypt in the meantime, because it will come. Inshallah, it will come, right? One of those unis will come. You can apply to Islamic University in Pakistan, right? Like Malaysia, there's Islamic universities in Malaysia. Like just like Medina, they've got them in other countries as well.
Yeah.
So I'm saying apply, but in the meantime, go Egypt. That's what I'm trying to say.
No, not Egypt. I'm saying anywhere, wherever you
anyway,
are.
but
But the
Egypt,
goal is knowledge. That's what I'm saying.
But Egypt's known for Arabic and Quran.
But that's the goal, innit? Just have that goal, and the means, whatever means Allah facilitates for you.
So the question I was going to ask was, which one should you pick first, Arabic or Quran, or can you do both? And if you do both, what advice do you have? Because like a lot of brothers I know some brothers who went to Egypt and they only did Quran.
Yeah.
I know brothers who went to Egypt and they didn't come back no Arabic. I know brothers who went to Egypt and they just did Arabic, no Quran. And there are those who done both. So I'm saying like, how do you balance it? What do you do if you have to give precedence? Which one do you give it to? How do you balance
I asked this myself many times, but before we go on to okay, let me answer this question, and then there was another point I wanted to mention. So generally, it's Quran or Arabic. Both should be done. I remember it was mentioned to me, do both, and I asked the same question to us, that do both, do it but side by side. Practically though, what happens is as you're doing both, generally one takes priority in it, and not only that, every person has a goal he wants to achieve. Some people came with the intention, I want to finish the Quran and I want to do Arabic, but Quran.
So when you say finish the Quran, we mean hifd here, by the way.
Memorize.
Tajweed and hifd.
Yeah, they want to
learn how to recite and memorize.
So some came with that, but then they wanted to do Arabic. Then when they realized, the two are starting to clash, they will give priority to their main goal. I've seen that. Or they'll just drop that and they focus on their main goal and say, I don't have enough time. But one of the things, there's a Sheikh Abdul Fattah, he's out there, Somali Sheikh, many know him. I asked him the same question as well. And he gave me something very beneficial, and I remember I benefited from a lot. And this is before I just came back now. I asked him, I just thought, Sheikh, what advice do you have for me? And then I asked him this question as well.
You went to see just before you came now?
No, just before I was leaving, a week before, he was going somewhere. I saw him, and then I just spoke to him briefly and asked him. So I asked him the same question. He said to me, listen to me. He said, Arabic, is it specific to a time or is it lifetime? I said, it's lifetime. He said, the Quran, is it specific to a time or is it lifetime? I said, specific. And he said, what do I mean specific? Meaning, are you going to be young forever? I said, no. Is your memory going to be the same forever? I said, no. He said, also, what is that which you use regularly throughout your daily actions? Like in the Salah and everything. It's Quran. It isn't Arabic. So he was saying to me, listen, he said, the Quran is the speech of Allah in it. It's that which Allah sent to His Prophet. It's that which He sent as a message to us. So if the person is not given priority to that first, then how will other things fall into order? So he said to me, he said, look, your time is limited, so you should give more importance to that which is limited, because he said Arabic you're going to be doing for the rest of it. It's a language that even if you do spend 1 year, 2 years, 3 years learning, it's something that you have to continuously carry on with you.
That's right.
For your
Like
life.
you're always going to be reading books, you're going to be listening to lectures, you're always going to be practicing it.
That's what I'm saying.
But
So
the Quran, it's true, like Imam Hassan al-Basri he said, seeking knowledge when you're young, it's like carving into a stone. Like in seeking knowledge when you're older, it's like al-katabati fil ma.
Yeah.
It's like writing in water.
Yeah.
So if I carve into a rock, it will stay. If I try to write in water, the water will just kind of, it doesn't settle.
Yeah.
And that's what it's like when you're older, you see what I'm saying? So
This-
I think that's powerful advice to him,
And
man.
not only that, he was like right now, and not only that you're free now, there'll come a time you won't be able to be free, and then from that you won't be able to memorize, and then from that just things just pile
Like
up.
memorization is not as simple as just repetition. Like,
Yeah.
I remember this advice that Guled gave to me, yeah, like about a year ago. I remember I was walking, I was dealing with madness, and I was trying to memorize on the street, yeah, and he was like, "This is not the way to memorize." He said, "You can't memorize when your mind is stressed." I didn't take it, and for a whole year I was trying to memorize. I remember I was struggling so much, like it took me so long to finish like memorizing something small, yeah, and then just recently, like I thought, let me clear up my mind. I was like I'm able to memorize now.
Yeah.
Say Allahumma barik. And it was like so true. Like so true. When you got family and kids and problems, like you're not going to be able to. And what do you call it? Not only that, yeah. You know, Akhi, Ustad Jamal. You know the Qari here in the UK. He never ever left the UK to learn Quran, and he learnt all 10 of the different recitations of the Quran.
The two go hand in hand.
Yeah. And not only that, he never left the country, yet he speaks fluent Arabic.
Yeah.
And one of the things that, you know, Ustad Abdurrahman was told us about him was that what aided him in learning the Arabic language
No doubt.
was the Quran.
No doubt.
Because-
Anyone who's memorized it, they have more. It's more easier to access to language. First of all, there's words you're taking from there. So in conclusion, if the person is able to do both, to do both. But at the same time, break it up into pieces in the sense of, because I'm not gonna lie, they will overwhelm you in it. So make it in a way where the person builds himself up. Where first of all, he starts with the Arabic, and then he takes Quran with that as well. But space it out. Maybe start 3 days a week, or maybe start 2 days a week of the Quran.
Words on Quran.
Yeah,
And
Quran.
build into it.
Yeah, and then slowly, because one of the things is, and especially this, like I remember I saw, if a person leaves out the Quran, one of the things that the person's going to miss out is the pronunciation of the words. He's not going to be able to pronounce it correctly in Arabic generally, and the way you correct it is by learning the Quran. Some of the brothers that are over there, you know, maybe it's a bit struggle for them, but the pronunciation wasn't so good. Maybe they come from French, or you know, or maybe they're reverts and stuff like that. So their pronunciation of words weren't that good. One of the things the teacher used to advise them is say, go and learn Quran. Are you doing Quran? The person would say, no, I don't have it time and stuff. He said, no, go and learn it, because it's going to help you in your pronunciation of general Arabic, just, you know. And not only that, you're reading, you'll be able to pick up faster and stuff like that. The two go hand in hand, so they can't separate. So you need to find a balance. You need to find a balance in that.
Okay, so the final question I have, which I'm going to split into 2 questions, inshallah,
Yeah.
and this is anything else that you want to add on,
Yeah.
is okay, which institute should you sign up to? Or maybe should you just go with a private teacher when it comes to Arabic? So let me repeat the question, yeah?
Yeah.
So when you want to study Arabic, should you get a private teacher? Should you go to an institute? If you do go to an institute, which one do you choose? Because, whenever I hear the brothers talk, oh, this one's better than this one's better than this one, like, which one?
I don't know about other places, but generally in Egypt, whichever institute you sign up to, just finish it. Just stick with it. Generally, they're all the same curriculum. It's not about which institute. I've realized it's not about which institute. It's about you as a student. Who are you? Because sticking to the institute curriculum, it won't be sufficient. You still have to do extra work outside. So regardless, if a person signs up to any institute, just stick to it. Because a lot of people, what they do is they waste time in changing institutes. You know what? 1 month, 2 months, I'm not improving, and you go to another one, and then 7 months have gone by. But if you stuck at one, institute, he would have been on the 7th level, or if it's got a different order, he would have been halfway of the institute. So just stick to one.
So don't jump around.
Yeah, don't jump around. That's the first thing. Also, the person needs to realize what kind of person is he. Is he someone like I know myself. One of the things that our teacher Ustad told us, he told me go to an institute, because one of the things is, number one, you're gonna benefit being in a class environment. That's the first thing. Interaction with other students. Third thing is questions some students may ask which you never thought of, and you'll benefit from that. Or some mistakes that students be making, and then you'll benefit from that. So just being in that environment is just, you'll pick up certain things, and instead of being on your own. And not only that, one of the things is like, if you know yourself, that some people say to, look, I'm good, I move fast, the class is moving very slow for me, so I went and took private. I said, cool, no problem, if that's good for you, if you know yourself. But generally, it's go to the class, inshallah. Because number one, you're waking up, you have to get out of your house, go walk or catch the bus or whatever you have to do. You know, they got that journey in it. So that is just waking you up, getting you ready, instead of waking up, still in your PJs, and then going to the class. Or just putting your thobe on and wearing your PJs under, and you sit and you take the class notes, and then your bed's right there. As soon as he says salam, you close the door and you run into the bedroom. So stick with the class.
So one advice we're definitely giving, is that if you do commit to one institute, don't change.
Stick with the institute, inshallah. Finish the curriculum.
Because then don't give in to, because everyone's gonna have a criticism for an institute.
Yeah, everyone's
gonna have a recommendation for another institute.
Every institute has its good point, no doubt. But generally,
and everyone has its bad points.
Yeah, and everyone has its bad points.
But if you stick with whichever one, eventually you're gonna get to the end.
They're an institute for a reason, because people have graduated from it. People have left learning what's needed to be learned. And then lastly, two things I'd like to add. First thing is the importance of, which was the advice Imam Shafi'i gave, is that a person, suhbatul ustad, have a companionship of an ustad, a teacher, meaning that the teacher is one who can guide you in it, on this path. Like this path you're trying to take, others have took it before, many books have been written on it, many videos have been made on it. But find a teacher that you go to, like, that's the importance. If you was going class here, you would have had a teacher. So when you do leave, he can direct you and say, look, when you go there, this is what your schedule should be. This is what you need to do. This is the importance, what you give priority to, and your order and everything. That's what the teacher does. What books to get, what not to get, your level now, what to do, what not to do. These kind of things. And he can keep up to date with you. If you're ever in need of anything, or, you message the teacher and you be like, listen, Ustad, I'm basically planning to get this book. Would you recommend it? He'll say, no, that's not for you right now. X, Y, and Z. So the importance of having a teacher will save you years, because he himself has took the path. And not only that, he probably knows shortcuts where he's like, I did this and I wasted a bit of time here. You cut that out and you can go do that. So that's the first thing, having it important, because a lot of people come out there and they don't know what they're doing. They just sign up to a place, which is good, and then they go to a Quran, which is good. After that, it's like, now, what's next? What sciences should I go into? I want to do, because my level's grown a bit, and I want to do this and that. But he doesn't know where to go, who to go to, and he just mixes, and then he ends up sometimes learning things that may harm his deen, which he thinks is good, and then later on leads into a wrong path. So that's one thing. The second thing is, the person needs to realize that knowledge has no time limit. That you need to realize that 1 year is not enough, 2 years is not enough, 3 years is not enough, 5 years is not enough. You need to give it your whole life. This is your life, basically. That it's not a thing that you will ever say to yourself, okay, I've done 5 years, I'm good. Like,
some people have a mentality, 6 months, I'll be done.
Yeah, like people, these programs are 1 year, no doubt. But still, you still need to carry on. The 1 year or a year and a half, it now allows you to go learn now. Now you start going to an Ajurumiyah. Now you start doing these basic books to build yourself up. Now you just...
So you're saying there's no Ajurumiyah until you do 1 year?
You're learning it, you're going over it.
But you're not really going to get it.
But still, once you finish, they'll tell you, now you need to... Then, you need to Mutammima, then you need to Qatr Nad and Alfiya.
So it all starts after that first year?
It starts after that. So the person... And that's where some people can feel a bit disheartened, where he's like, I spent 6 months, I haven't been speaking much, I haven't been... Well, you've got to remember, it's a language, first of all. And not only that, I understand the person should test themselves to see if he's making progress, no doubt. But at the same time, don't put a limit to it, innit? Because as soon as you start putting a limit to it, then the person's like, I did a year, man. I haven't learned it. It's not for me. And he leaves it. And then, but it's for everyone. It's just how you take the path, innit? So that's the importance. Don't ever put a time limit to it. As Imam Muhammad said, from the cradle to the grave. You gotta go in like that. It's just something that you have to carry on.
I got one last question. I know I said last question, but because a lot of sisters are going to be watching, they say, can sisters go study in Egypt? And what's it like for them?
Sisters can. I advise anyone, even the brothers, if you can go with your family, best thing. Or if you can, best thing is your family, man, because so many things will be aided for you. Like, it'll be nice to have your family there. If you're not able to, maybe a friend, someone, or if you know someone else, because being alone is kind of difficult. As for sisters, they go with their mahram, and then there's
like even if the mahram doesn't live with them, you just need to to be transported there. And I'm just saying, some sisters, for example, like if a father wants to take his daughter, he can get her into an institute, right?
So sisters can. The institute's for men and women, and there's other places for children if you have children as well. So come with
like
your
really
mahram.
good stuff for children, right? Like,
great curriculums. Some are making the children memorize Ha'i, and
it's poetry, right?
Poetry and stuff like that. And you ask them questions. Like kids pick up like that. It's easy. Like so, generally, any institute usually has a men and a women, and then you can find a private teacher who's a woman, and same thing. Just as it's available for men, it's available for women.
Okay, another question. Yeah, sorry, they're coming to me. What's like say you're broke, and you don't have an income, whatever have you. Like, what's the basic amount of money you need monthly for yourself in order to survive there? Some people might want to work and save up.
£150
a month.
Monthly. That's your house covered.
But that's usually you sharing a house with someone.
Yeah, right? No, it's not your own. You got to share, but you get your own room. That's your house covered. That's you having a good meal, 2, 3, whatever. It's up to you. It depends how much you want to spend. You can have 6 if you spend it nicely. That's your food covered. That's your institute covered. That's a Quran class.
£150 a month. That's it.
£150. That's your Quran class covered. And generally, the person usually finds a place near the institute. So
you won't have to spend too much on travel.
Yeah, so you
if a man wants to bring his family, would you say like 5 bills a month?
5 bill. I'd say if you bring your family,
I say you got 3 kids and a wife.
I'd say 700 a month. You're doing good.
You're nice, basically.
Very nice. That's furnished place.
Yeah, furnished.
Alright, you get unfurnished and furnished. Unfurnished, there's no boiler. There's nothing.
That's you, huh?
Nothing. Nothing. Nothing.
Okay.
Not even a sink. Oh no, you get sinks. Stuff like that.
But no washing machine.
No washing.
Even the toilet seat you got put in, right? I heard.
Not even a mirror. So that's it.
Okay, is there anything else you want to add on?
Yeah, just check out the other videos that have been done on it. Also, last thing, yeah. You can research as much as you want, but you have to go and experience it, man. So only it can be said. My experience can be different to your experience, but generally there's general things which are just principles that you need to be, have in your mind. This is a principle, and these things are like things to be. But your experience could be different.
Okay, is there a way that those watching could email you if they needed like some more help or questions?
If they just comment, I'll answer it through the comments.
Okay, so if there's anyone commenting on the comments of this video, it's not me, it's going to be you, inshallah.
Yeah, I'll try to answer. Yeah.
Okay, awesome.
But generally, what's Dad's done it extensive. Generally, what people want to know is places. Egypt is one of those places and other places, but that's it, yeah.
Inshallah. So just to sum up, brothers and sisters, make sure you're seeking knowledge here. Don't bounce around from different institutes.
Have a teacher.
Yeah, get a teacher.
So he can guide you.
Commit to a long time. Sisters, you're welcome to. It doesn't cost much money to kind of be out there. No. Bring your family if you can, if it's preferred. So inshallah, just to conclude, to remind you guys once again, we have this Umrah trip. If you guys want to come, like I said, go watch the video below, the Umrah one, and watch it, and then get in touch with the travel agency that we're working with and secure a ticket now, because It's going to be gone soon, inshallah. The second thing is that we have those 5 obstacles of how to seek knowledge. 5 obstacles that get in the way of seeking knowledge and how to overcome them. So again, just click on the link below, the relevant link, leave your email address, and we'll start getting in touch with you with that. Also, we have the Knowledge College for those of you that might be in the UK. You might be living in a city or in a place or a part of the country where you can't access knowledge. There's no halaqat or masajid that are actually doing anything, no centers. Then you can study online. So we have the Knowledge College, and that's an opportunity for you to kind of look into as well. All of that is at the link below. With that said, Assalamu alaikum.